also the powers of Parliament to execute its function is a constitutional mandate, as reflected in Article 79. The actual work and absolute duty of Parliament is to legislate, which Parliament has done, and the legislation can only be reviewed by Article 91, sub-Article 1, whereby all the bills scrutinized, analyzed, and passed by Parliament need to be assented to by the President. That's the only outline that can assess the performance of Parliament. Where the President fails to assent on the bills passed by Parliament, he violates the constitutional right and the powers of Parliament. So our coming here today is to inform the entire public that much as we do welcome them from year 2022, as we are embracing year 2023, the economy is down. The economy is lame. The economy is leaking. We are undergoing and we have already reached a depression. We are insolvent. We are having more liability than assets into our economy. And partly the causal factors for economic depression are the unclear laws, guidelines, and restrictions inflicted on Ugandans during their execution as they intended to work and earn a living. The fisheries sector is one of the most important sector that earns Uganda foreign exchange. Is second in agriculture sector after coffee. After coffee has been violated and defiled, now Ugandans are so hopeful in the fisheries sector to rehabilitate their economy. Surprisingly, we have seen that the sector has been tormented and affected by unclear laws, restrictions that have deemed to affect the entire performance of the sector. Even right now, the outturn from the sector has gone down, mainly because of the unclear laws and restrictions. The fisheries sector has entered the year 2023 with recurring challenges from year 2022. The strong torture, violation of traders' rights and fishermen, the monopoly of the sector by a few undefined Ugandans, the oligopoly of the whites and a few Ugandans that are owning the sector in pairs. We have registered a number of challenges where even up to now people are being killed. A case has just been noted at Lambu landing site where 4 people, gentlemen, who were killed in disguise of the UPDF fighting against the illegal fishing. And no wonder whether a person himself is the illegal fishing or the illegal fishing is the activity which they need to arrest. So the question remains connotational, whereby Ugandans are undergoing a subdue not to enjoy their rights because of the unclear laws. So such challenges have been promoted from year 2022 to year 2023. And now the only solution lies into our hands as members of Parliament to come and put more effort and force to make it clear that the laws made on behalf of Ugandans under Article 79 is in line to suit their interests other than sabotaging their income. The main purpose to come here is to inform you as the eyes of Ugandans that we have decided to run to Constitutional Court to see that we liberate the lake and we liberate the lives of Ugandans that have been inflicted under corporal punishment, torture, vehement violation of their rights as they are trying to maneuver their survival. And we have reached a time to quote the Darwin theory of survival for the fittest, whereby the unfit in Ugandans are losing the capacity to survive. So the purpose here is to explain to you, one, what is our content in the petition. You are all informed that on the 21st of September 2021, Parliament tabled the Fisheries and Aquaculture Bill, and referred it to the Committee of Agriculture and Animal Industries for scrutiny. As the Parliament exercised its mandates in line with the rules of procedure, where we executed the bill, we scrutinized it, and consulted all relevant stakeholders, including making regular trips, which consumed a lot of taxpayers' money, but all in vain, and a quid pro quo is not defined. So we have seen that since the bill was tabled and passed and debated thoroughly on the floor of Parliament on the 3rd of May 2022, it was deemed relevant to be assented to by the President. And the clerk served his duty, transmitted this bill and presented it to the President for assent because he is the assenting authority, and the President received it on the 25th of May 2022. And it's clear, should be noted, that in clerk's writing, when he was presenting this bill to the President, this is the letter where the President received the bill on the 25th of May 2022. And the clerk served by the powers of the Constitution, where even he quoted for the President. The note down here explains it well, that under Article 91, sub-Article 3 of the Constitution, a response to this communication was expected by 26th of June 2022, which the President did not add here to. And under the quoted article, it is very clear the President was supposed to serve the following purposes in reference to assenting to this bill. 1. Article 91, sub-Article 3, explained that the President shall within 30 days after a bill is presented to him or her, A. Assent to the bill. B. Return the bill to Parliament with the request that the bill or particular provisions of it is be reconsidered by Parliament. C. Notify the Speaker in writing that he or she has refused to assent to the bill within 30 days, and which President, His Excellency, the Fountain of Honor, #1 citizen of Uganda, worked contrary to Article 91, where he responded to the bill when he refused to sign after 192 days instead of 30 days. And this is the letter which he wrote while referring the bill for reconsideration before Parliament. And there is a lot of...
As members of Parliament from the fishing communities and as members on the Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries Committee, we have decided to go to the Constitutional Court to petition government to declare the Fisheries and Aquaculture Bill as passed on 3rd May 2022 and received by President on 5th June 2022 to become a law, since the President failed to act on the 30th day time duration, and also court to nullify and cancel completely any other proceedings conducted by Parliament to reconsider the bill. Because now we are finding so many challenges that as members on this committee, we took a lot of time. We were referred this bill to analyze it. And indeed, we did the best in the 45 days as per the rules of procedure. We analyzed the bill, we consulted different stakeholders, including government, and Parliament passed this bill. Even when President returned the bill, we worked by Speaker's guidance within 1 week and presented the bill as guided by her. And still Parliament passed the same bill. But we are surprised that up to now, it is coming to 5 months. President has failed to assent to this bill. Yet, the law is very clear. He must assent to the bill within 30 days after receiving the bill. If the President fails to assent to the bill, then the Speaker of Parliament, if the President fails to assent to the bill and passes the time duration of 30 days, then the Speaker must come to Parliament and lay a copy of the bill, and the bill becomes the law for the people, for the Ugandans, because surely we make these laws for you.
Well, the law does provide, the Ugandan constitution does provide that a bill may become law without the president's assent if he returns it to parliament twice. And the Bali County Member of Parliament, Charles Tebandeke, and Susan Mugabe from Buvuma District, are both battered that President Yoweri Museveni has failed his statutory mandate on the fisheries bill. So the members of parliament want the fisheries bill declared law without president's approval, according to what they do believe is the best way forward for the fishing communities within Uganda. And of course, the two are actually giving their verdict on the same situation in one way or the other. As of now, this particular Fisheries and Aquaculture Bill 2021 is a proposed new law which is intended to realign the emerging issues and provide regulations necessary for the orderly development of the fisheries subsector. So if you're to look at this law is seeking to provide for there's a provision of conservation as well as sustainable management, then utilization and development of the fisheries sector in general. And these particular members of parliament, which include the Bali County Member of Parliament, Charles Tebandeke, as well as the MP from Buvuma District, the woman MP from Buvuma District, Susan Mugabe, and President Museveni returned the fisheries bill to parliament last year in September. Following the fact that most of them apparently thought he's going to assert to it into law. He returned the Fisheries and Aquaculture Bill to Parliament, proposing that the Ugandan First Forces were to be allowed to join the police on the surveillance team to fight illegal fishing on the country's major water bodies. That was a statement that had been released to the media in September 2022. So the armed involvement was one of the suggestions that the president had made before Parliament first passed the bill on May 3rd. Yes, and May 3rd last year still. And President Museveni did indicate clause 13 of the bill to include UPDF on the fisheries monitoring, control and surveillance unit established under the Directorate of Fisheries Resources. On the same thing, the president also wants Parliament to review clause 4, which defines the licensing officer as the chief licensing officer. So amongst the other provisions that President Museveni wants Parliament to review include the addition of new vision, that is under clause 13, where the new vision, to include rather the UPDF rather, as under clause 13 of the bill. Now, if the UPDF is included under clause 13, it will be included as a fisheries monitoring, control and surveillance unit. So that will be the role of the UPDF. Now, also under the review in clause 4, this particular clause, the president wants the role of the licensing officer to be defined as the chief licensing officer in there. This particular bill does seek to repeal the Colonial Fish Act of 1951, which was amended in 2011 to bring regulation of the industry up to date with current challenges. Now, this as well include addressing excessive fishing pressure. There is also something to do with growth in illicit fish trade. There is destructive fish malpractices, then increasing local fish demand and decreasing per capita fish consumption. Then the proposed law also seeks to regulate aquaculture in general in the country. And Mathias Mpuga, last year, the current leader of opposition, was among the first people who apparently had issues with the fact that President Museveni kept on returning bills. And it's now up to those who are actually coming in from the fishing communities, the members of parliament, who have as well come out to at least question why the government or why President Museveni is returning these particular bills. Now, they do want the bill to be declared law without the president is asserting, of course. Now, will that be possible? Because they are showing out their grievances, saying without the president's approval, they will be taking it with the fact that, according to the Ugandan constitution, like I say, there is a provision that a bill may become law without even the president assenting to it if he returns it to parliament twice. Okay. And well, that is it for this particular morning update regarding the aquaculture, the Fisheries and Aquaculture Bill 2021. But today is quite a rainy day. It's quite a rainy day, as it has been pouring since early 5 a.m. in most parts of the country. At around 6:20, there was something you could describe as a serious thunderstorm. And if you've apparently heard of that one today morning, you surely have been awake by that time, and it could bring out some scary part of it. I can't imagine a person who was driving a car at that particular time. But well, of course, as the business community never rests, and so the Smart 24 TV, we are your daily Kickstarter here from 6:30 a.m. Up to 9:50 a.m. This is SMB. I'm Jerome Paul Sonko. Good morning. It is a cold one, and of course, you should be preparing yourself to hit the road regardless as you kickstart off your business day, and make sure that you make different amends in that matter. Well, after the break, we now do return. I've got Karibu East Africa, and of course, I will be coming up with the SMB International updates. But well, you can kickstart off your investment journey before we go into that by using the USSD code *292#. And then you will be ushered into Zabu.
No
Zabu,
data,
platform
no
by Alteryx
problem.
East Africa
Zabu.
says you can easily make your money count into the investment journey by using that USSD code. The investment is as simple, cheap, reliable, and affordable. With just a minimum of 15,000 Ugandan shillings or more, you can definitely go on to invest in government bonds. That's a way forward. There's nothing more secure than investing into government bonds, because the government is still available, and of course they will definitely pay back. Now, besides the same situation, with a minimum of 15,000 Uganda shillings, you can invest in government bonds. The opening time for this is at 8:15 a.m. and the closing time of the markets is 3:15 p.m. East African Standard Time. Please do note that these markets are closed on public holidays and during the weekends. Zabu is powered by Alteryx East Africa, which says do something new. Zabu, my money, my future. When I do return after the break, we shall be heading to Karibu East Africa and the SMB International News. Good morning.